Hello, Ryan here, and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all of the news from the week just past. Be sure to subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get on with it. This week, we check out the process in creating missions for the verse. The roadmap shows that focus is now shifting onto the dynamic economy, plus we finally get to see just how the fire hazard system will look. So this week's Inside Star Citizen was with the visual effects team talking about what they do for the project. And the VFX team work on anything from explosions, fire, weapon muzzle flashes, leaves blowing around on the ground, coolant leaking from engine areas, mist, steam, fog, buzzing flies, and so much more. Now the VFX team have worked to establish a VFX identity for Star Citizen, which is essentially a visual language that is consistent throughout all of CIG's games, plus they also now have a powerful set of tools to help go forwards at the rate that the project needs. Now the team has grown to around 21 members, which includes programmers, production, concepts, embedded QA and artists. And they say one of the biggest challenges for the VFX in Star Citizen is how the effects need to be seen from every angle, as well as being from close up and far away. It is not a small sandbox level that needs to be presented on one face from where the player is being guided. It must hold up completely. And the VFX team are continuing to build new tools to not just help them achieve bigger and better looking effects, but to also maintain all of the current effects that they have. And right now, they are working on lightning in gas clouds, which will be capable of striking ships or players, making gas clouds very dangerous locations, plus they are working on the fire hazard system. Now this really stood out to me. The fire hazard system has been in the works for a long while, and up until this episode of Inside Star Citizen, we haven't really seen how good it looks visually. We have seen it from a technical or a systemic standpoint, how it spreads through rooms, how it changes the temperature and affects the room's atmosphere, but nothing has been shown in terms of how good it's going to look. And I was actually blown away when I saw the fire visual effects, how it spreads and looks so violent and scary, just like real fire. Seeing how a fire may break out on a ship, like from the microwave shown here, to how it engulfs an environment, scarring the surface as it spreads. And I can just imagine it will be a very exciting and nerve-wracking experience tackling fires in the verse. The visuals here are better than I expected, and when you combine this fire hazard and propagation system with these visuals, it will be a crazy part of many aspects of Star Citizen's persistent universe. From engineering, tackling fires on board your ship when components malfunction, or inside planet-side bases, making sure that you're maintaining everything so a fire doesn't break out. And of course, in combat as well, using incendiary ammo to create a burn over time effect, or even a stray bullet hitting a component or an item and creating a fire. Or even sabotaging, setting a fire around a gang hideout, maybe on a ship or a planet side or in a space station, just to flush out its occupants. Now they are creating a realistic and dynamic fire system which will have a big impact on the persistent universe, and it is clear to me after seeing this why that work has been such a long process. But it is certainly coming along in a great way. I can't wait to see this implemented into the verse in all of the various locations. Anyway, that was Inside Star Citizen, a great episode, and the team are doing some excellent work there, especially for that fire. But let us move on. So this week's Star Citizen Live was a game dev episode with a member of the mission team, running through the process of how they make a mission using all of the current tools available. Now, the mission pitch roughly is a subdue and recover mission, which is said to involve knocking out an NPC and then delivering them to a certain location. And with Persistent Universe missions, they are trying to be a lot less hand-holdy, allowing players to utilize the various tools and techniques available to them. So instead of marking the NPC's location, he removes that marker and then leverages the scanning gameplay instead, which will then require the player to scan and find the target ship, get on board, and then locate the target inside, knocking them out and capturing them. Now, I won't go through the full process of how he built the mission. Of course, if it is of interest to you, do follow the link in the description below to watch for yourself. And it is interesting to see how it all works, how these tools are utilized, and a great episode to showcase the process. Plus it does sound like this is a pretty decent mission, which will involve using ship and FPS scanning, FPS not available just yet, boarding action with getting on board of the NPC ship, subduing them, capturing them, and then delivering them in some way. Now they did originally intend to show him playing through this mission once they'd built it, but they didn't have time this week, so they did say they will try next Friday to see if they can bring this guy back, play through the mission, and see how it goes, which I do look forward to seeing, but that was what essentially Star Citizen Live was about this week. So also this week, the narrative team posted a whitelist guide on the constellation Phoenix, instead of the originally intended post titled Jerry, A Half-Told Truth, which I believe is about the first contact we had as a human race with the Banu. Not sure what happened there, nothing has been mentioned as to why they swapped that post out, but hopefully we do see that Jerry, A Half-Told Truth post one day soon, because I was very interested in reading that. The roadmap was also updated. This I have covered in a dedicated video, and this update brought the physicalized cargo updates for 320 now being committed, plus a few change-ups to some of the teams to help cater for future content, which include the new Montreal Persistent Universe gameplay team and Tony Zurevek's team, now specifically called the Economy team. And finally, the Squadron 42 monthly report was posted to Spectrum, but I have already covered this update in a separate video that I will link below. So that brings us to the end of the show. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. Also, I am able to do this thanks to my very generous patrons and channel members. If you appreciate what I do and would like to help make it even better from as little as $1 a month, all of the links are provided below.